Hello and welcome to the show. Michael Sheridan here again to talk about your dreams. If you would like to have your dream analysed on the show, send them to me at radioshow@dream-analysis.com. If you want to come on the air and share your dream right now, then call us on 425-373-5527 or toll free in Western Washington on 888-298-KKNW. Thank you to everybody who continues to send in dreams. It's always very exciting to receive them, to open them and see what they contain. It's like getting presents at Christmas. For those smart-ass relatives of mine out there, don't get any bright ideas that giving me your dream will do in lieu of a huge gift. Actually, I'm talking specifically to my daughter Heidi. At this stage, you will have noticed how dreams cover absolutely everything going on in your life. Ultimately, dreams want to align you with your higher self. Not surprising, since your dreams come from your higher self. That will be the theme for this week before I dip into the mailbag to cover the dreams you sent in. Mailbag sounds better than dipping into an inbox. Maybe it doesn't, and I'm just showing my age. Yikes. Before doing that, I thought I'd stick with the festive season and give the meaning of symbols with a Christmas theme. It feels a bit like Sesame Street this week was brought to you by the symbols and Christmas themes. Okay, so Santa, okay, red and green. Well, as a colour combination, they're always about the circulatory system. So it's kind of, you'll be not surprised to know that the meaning of the symbols isn't going to be about Christmas at all. So red and green as a colour combination is always going to be about the heart and circulatory system. And usually it's the physical side of things, but it can be about emotions. Jesus is going to be about having special abilities. We know, or people who are religious believe Jesus had particular abilities, like the ability specifically to heal people by touching them with his hands. Many people I know would love the one of being able to turn water into wine. But so if you dream of Jesus, then it says that you've got the abilities he had. And that can sound sacrilegious to some, but then if you remember in the Bible, in John, it says that Jesus tells people that many people have the abilities he has, and indeed some people have them better than he has. I suppose I should note I was raised Catholic in Ireland, where everybody was Catholic almost. So it's the only religion I'm familiar with. I don't exclude any religions for any reason. So it's just not being familiar with them. I don't cover them. But your dreams do. So if you dream of a synagogue, a mosque, or a church, regardless of the time of year, it's going to be about your spiritual side. And it doesn't matter what religion you are. It all has to do with the fact that you know that that's a place for connecting with God or your higher self. What else have we got? We have a Santa hat as a colour combination. Red and white is always good to get in a dream, and it's very invigorating, rejuvenating. It typically would be given to somebody, the colour combination will be given to somebody when they've suffered a loss or their energy is extremely low. It's as a combination, it puts the wind back in your sails, gives you permission to live life again. A Christmas tree. It's an interesting one. Christmas, indeed, itself in a dream is going to be about birth. And it's kind of obvious when you think about that because it is a celebration of the birth of Jesus. But everything in a dream is you. So in a dream, it's going to be about your birth. A chimney, because it's connected with a fireplace, is going to be about not Santa coming down and giving you presents, but it's about your circulatory system again, because fireplaces or any symbol of fire has to do with the heart or emotions or passion in your heart, etc. Carol singing is going to be about channeling, because singing and music come from the spirit world. Well, music, if you read any books about near-death experiences, people will explain how they heard wonderful music, harmonious music as they traveled through the afterlife. And so for that reason, because it's associated with there, not just because of near-death experiences, but those tuned in, it indicates an ability to channel. Presence or receiving a gift is always good in a dream, always good in reality too, but in a dream it indicates somebody who is a guide. And a guide they go by many different names, but angels and guides are the same thing. So when you see them in a dream, they're the only character that is infallible. Whatever they say or do is correct and always correct. And they're the only character that has that trait. So if you can recognize them and you can become lucid in your dream, you can ask them questions. If you become lucid, that's where you are aware you're in a dream state. You can ask any characters questions, but only a guide is going to give you accurate answers. You can ask other characters what they represent in the dream, and they'll give you an accurate answer. But if you ask anything outside the dream context, they won't. So it's quite useful. And you might discover somebody that you actually know in waking life has a higher status than you thought before. What else have I got? I've got lots more here, but we'll just pick another one. Flying with reindeer also represents channeling, because the reindeer would indicate, or would be guides in your dream, because they're guiding the sleigh. And they flying with a guide in a dream is always about channeling. It indicates an ability to lift your mind up to the point where you can communicate with spirits, because of the fact that you're going high in the dream. Anything else interesting in here? We have snow. Not always a good one in a dream. Snow, if I lived in Alaska for a while, and I can tell you can get tired of that, but it always makes the landscape look fantastic and clean. And when the snow melts in April in Alaska, things look very dirty again and very dark. It's kind of surprising. The sun's coming up, but yet it's darker than it was before. So snow glosses over things. It hides things that you need to look at, but it's about an emotional gloss over, or an emotional hiding. So it indicates that you need to thaw out and need to warm up, and all the things that go with that say what you need to do to become a better person and get in alignment with why you're here and with your higher self. Okay, so back to today's theme, and I'm going to read an article from my newsletter, which is about aligning with your higher self. It was actually for a magazine covering dreams and covering innovation. So it has a kind of a slant that way, but it'll work for us today. While waiting to see my doctor, I interpreted a dream for his wife. When I returned the following week, he confided that he could not believe how a single dream analysed could impact her so much. He asked if I had ever seen a reaction like that before. I told him it always happens by the end of my courses. For some reason, his questions got me thinking, though. At the end of my classes, people frequently queue up to hug and thank me. Even before the internet, class participants would send me thank you cards and letters describing how much their life had changed as a result of the analysis they received. Sometimes, just as with his wife, a single analysis could have a profound effect. When I figured it out, the answer was obvious. Dreams are poignant messages from your higher self telling you exactly what you need to do to improve all aspects of your life. The content is very personal, revealing, and immensely practical. A correct analysis lets you know that someone is listening and does have the answers. The fact that the someone is your higher self cannot be more important. You have the answers to all of the questions you are asking now and all the questions you will ask in the future. It was this same realization that floored me when I first had a dream correctly analysed. You came into this life well prepared and with an unbreakable lifeline to the source of all wisdom. Your dreams encourage you to take an innovative approach to aspects of your life in order to improve them. Acting on their advice moves you into alignment with the vibrational energy of your higher self. The more you move into alignment, the better your life becomes and the more fulfilled you are. Your life is about you coming to that realization and taking the steps. Nobody can move you into alignment. The approaches offered by your dreams will, of course, be innovative because they always focus on something new you need to do or something you are currently doing but need to change. They may ask you to stop focusing on past relationship failures, for instance. Sustained thinking provides momentum even when the focus is on something you don't want. This momentum then attracts more of the same into your life. Dreams may be specific about doing a therapy to overcome an early influence in order to free your thinking. Whatever approach they suggest in any area of your life is the approach guaranteed to work for you. Dreams also highlight your unique skills and encourage you to develop them. Sometimes they suggest you blend two or more skills together into a new mix. In last month's column, I included a dream from Susan that told her to refine a blend of 3 skills and become expert at applying subsets from the 3 into a new innovative offering. Following the analysis, she wondered how limiting what she offered could be better overall, and that night she had this dream. My friend was telling me how his wife wanted to move a bunch of stuff. She chose the things that she really wanted and calculated the weight of the size of the truck needed to carry that weight. But it turned out that it was too heavy for the truck and it got stuck. I asked if they got another truck just as big or bigger so they could split it into 2 loads and take everything. In a compassionate way, he said, "You would like that, wouldn't you?" They got a second smaller truck, and his wife was even more selective about the things she wanted to move. They took just those things on the smaller truck, and it was able to move fast and easily with the smaller load. Now, knowing the context, the dream hardly requires analysis. The dream clearly tells her that including everything from all 3 skills will bog her down and will not work, but being selective will. By referencing compassion and discounting logic, which is the calculations in the dream also tells her to use her intuition in what she selects for clients. You may already be familiar with some of these innovations revealed in dreams. Elias Howe invented the sewing machine following a dream in which cannibals were preparing to cook him and were dancing around the fire, waving their spears. In his dream, he noticed a small hole near the tip of the spears. That, coupled with their up and down motion, was the major innovation he needed to make the mechanical sewing machine possible. It required a needle with a hole near the point. Einstein claimed his entire scientific career was a meditation on a dream he had as a teenager where he was sledding at the speed of light. Dmitri Mendeleev dreamed the periodic table in 1869. Friedrich von Kugel revolutionized organic chemistry through determining the structure of the benzene molecule from his dream where a group of snakes were swallowing their tails. And lastly, in this list that is, in 1619, Descartes' dreams revealed to him the basis of the scientific method. What direction is being revealed in your dreams? Well, of course, send them into the show and you will find out. So aligning with your higher self, I have another couple of dreams I wanted to cover that show how our dreams can tell us that the direction we want to take is not the direction we need to take. And these are short dreams, and they're dreams that are about spiritual direction or using spiritual abilities. The first one is called Silver Chain. And a friend told me this, indeed, on a dream course we were both doing. I entered a jewellery shop to buy a gold chain. The jeweller offered me a silver chain. I refused it as I only wanted a gold one. The shopkeeper would not give me the gold one and kept saying the silver one was already mine. Now, this dream is very straightforward. Gold in dreams, and I will cover colours in other shows, but gold represents the ability to project energy into people or to do hands-on healing. And here in her dream, she wants just the gold chain and she doesn't want a silver one. And silver represents the ability to channel, or a strong intuition, I should say. So she has a strong intuition. Its information comes to her through feelings. And she's aware of that, but she still wants to learn to be a healer. And at the time she gave me this dream, she kept becoming ill. She had learned a practice called bioenergy healing and really liked it, spent a lot of money learning it. And every few weeks after doing it, she would have to take time off to recover. And this was, of course, her body's way of saying you're doing the wrong thing, you're in the wrong field. But the dream was very specific. The dream was saying, look, your karmic obligation, which is indicated by a chain, something you're chained to. So this is your obligation, is to develop your intuition and use that to help other people, help yourself and help other people. And it's not about developing a hands-on healing ability. And the big clue, of course, in the dream is that the shopkeeper, who is a guide, anybody with a title in a dream is a guide. And like I said before, anything they do or say is infallible. So he won't give her the gold chain because he's saying it's not hers and the silver one is already hers. In other words, she doesn't even have to buy it. It's already hers. So this, another dream, another short one, it's called Trading Cars. I was in a car salesman's office. He was sitting behind his desk talking on the phone. I went in to ask him if I could trade my car for the red sports car in the forecourt. He was annoyed at me for interrupting him and was pointing to the telephone. I walked closer to his desk. There were magazines and books spread across his desk. He is wearing an army-type uniform. I'm actually taking these two dreams from my book and I'm just going to read the analysis from there. This dreamer has a counselling ability indicated by magazines and books, but wants to trade that gift for spiritual healing, which is indicated by the sports car. It is her judgment, given by the forecourt, that she needs to do this in order to make a living. She has the ability to channel, indicated by the salesman talking on the phone, and is annoyed at what she is being told by her guides. Her karma is to develop her counseling ability and use it to help others. However, she wants to change her karma, which is indicated by asking to trade cars. The guide shows that this is not possible. Working in the counseling field is what is on the table for her, because the magazines and books are on the table. The guide is telling her to listen to the guidance she has received, and he indicates this by pointing to the telephone. Now, there's more, of course, to those dreams and the reasons why these dreamers had the dreams. Certain things going on in their lives that cause them to question what their abilities are and maybe think that, okay, if I do something different, it's going to be better for me, and that's what I need to do. But your dreams are going to be specific and say, no, look, you can't trade your karma. Not only is it the skill that you've trained to come here with, you also have other people that are going to be lining up for you to use your ability on. So you're going to help other people with your ability, whatever it is, whether it's counseling, singing, healing, etc. You're going to help other people, and they're already here too. So it's not so easy to change it. So let's have a look at some dreams you sent in. This one is from Anne. She says, I was on holidays in Spain with a female friend. Different countries in dreams mean different things, but Spain in a dream is going to represent healing. Of course, if you're from Spain, it doesn't mean that. So it's about her healing ability. It was very wet and we were not prepared for this. I lost my keys and went to find them. I tried to find a shortcut back to where we were staying. I asked at reception for directions. I noticed a tarantula on the desk and the receptionist was taking no notice of it. He gave me directions down a steep, narrow staircase. Okay, so the dream is healing for the dreamer, trying to get her to actually let more life into her, into what she's doing in her life. And that's given by the fact that it's raining and very wet. It's always healing for the heart. So that's really what the dream is about. And healing in an emotional way, trying to get you to open up and experience life in an emotional and passionate way. Be passionate about things. Asking for directions, of course, is good. She says she lost her keys. And, you know, that's being lost in a dream and losing your keys are kind of the same thing. So I want to know, what's the key in my life? What is it I need to do? Where do I need to go? What direction do I need to take? That's what this is all about. You notice at the start she's with a female friend, but then she isn't with the female friend. So she's lost connection with her female side. And the dream is trying to get her to find that again. The reception tells her that this is part of her life purpose. She came here to do this. And she's been told to go down a steep, narrow staircase. And movement downwards in a dream is asking you to get into your heart. Move your center of consciousness from your head down to your heart. And the tarantula, or the spider on the desk, is going to be about the need to overcome irrational fears. Spiders are tiny things, even a large spider. And quite often we come across people who are more afraid of the spider than the spider is of them. And it's kind of crazy, really, because we can always deal with a spider. So it just represents irrational fears. So that's what says she needs to overcome, because that's what's blocking her from finding her way and becoming more passionate about life. This next dream is from a lady called Jackie. She says, I'm looking down at Reverend Michelle, who is the minister where I attend. She is in a wash basin in the basement. She's preparing to go to sleep, sitting up, but leaning over inside the wash basin using a thin royal blue type concoction as a pillow. I notice that she must be uncomfortable. I ask if she would like a pillow, and she says yes. I leave to go get the pillow. So, okay, just covering this quickly. The dreamer is a spiritual leader. Now, spiritual leadership indicates, it means somebody who helps others with an open and compassionate heart. It's not the typical leadership that we're used to, like political leaders, etc. It's saying you need an open and compassionate heart. It works through female energy, and it works through not judging others and through listening to what people need. So it's a very inclusive thing. It's you help somebody by giving everything that you can, not physical or material things, but helping and not holding back. You're not trying to get somebody to come to you for a second session, for instance, but you give everything you can. And so it says this person has that ability, but she's uncomfortable. She needs to cleanse or eliminate issues connected with female authority, and this is indicated by the minister being in the bath, because that's a place for cleansing. And this will better allow her natural leadership ability to flow. So she needs to get over the discomfort and realize that she does have this. So I'm seeing that we're running out of time. I'm picking what we should look at. Okay, here's one from Jackie. She says, or from Duro. He says, I came upon this little boy who appeared to be 5 or 6 years old. He asked the little boy, "Who am I to you?" And the little boy answered, "You're my daddy." Then Duro was touching the boy's hair and moving it away from his ears, and he saw that his ears were infested with bugs that kind of looked like beetles, but were not dark in colour. He started pulling them out of the boy's ear and saying, "No, that's not good, that's not good." Then he woke up. Okay, so this dream is saying to Euro that he has a choice of living on the dharmic or karmic path, and this is an advance. I've seen some of his dreams before. This is an advance for him, so quite a good thing. And it's really his issues come right now are centered around the fact that his wife died of cancer. It took her a long time to die from being diagnosed, and he felt terrible for his son over this whole period, and right to the point where he felt bad for his wife as well, and he was almost thinking, "I wish it could be me instead of her," and not almost, in fact, he did. So he has this terrible guilt around the fact that his son's life changed dramatically because his wife was taken away. And this dream is just one in a series, and it really shows how he feels that a child hearing something, because we have these beetles crawling in the child's ear, but how a child hearing something that is really bad can be so bad and can impart lasting damage on them. I mean, that would really be the crux of it. And he's trying to remove these bugs. Now, the bugs, of course, are hearing things that bug you. And, of course, it's gross in the dream because there's so many things in the ear. But that's where his focus is, not wanting his son to be affected by something that he heard. It's like having to tell him that his mom is going to die of cancer. That's really the event that the dream is focused on. And in this dream, because he's pulling the bugs out of the boy's ear, that's what he's trying to heal. So it's actually a good dream, and it's very good because of also the numbers 5 or 6. So it's saying, okay, you're getting your life back on track. It's a lot more positive than some of the dreams you've given me recently. And so I wanted to include this one. And now we also have, again, looking at the clock, we have Ashley, who says, I had 2 dreams about owls in the last 2 months. Last night I dreamt of a baby owl someone brought me. I was trying to save it. It seemed very comfortable with me taking care of it. Any ideas on what that could mean? Of course, well, I do. It's about the wisdom to raise a child. And this may not be your own child because somebody brings you the baby, but indeed it can be. It could be even about passing on your wisdom about raising children for the benefit of your grandchildren. So it's a really nice dream, and probably is prompted by somebody close to you getting pregnant or just recently having a child. Okay, so I said Jackie earlier. Here's Jackie's dream. I was walking along what appeared to be a boardwalk on the seashore, but it kind of felt more like I was on the shore of Lake Michigan in Chicago. I was walking along carrying a small baby in my arms. I knew the baby didn't belong to me. Of course it did belong to you. It's everything's you in a dream. Babies represent responsibilities, by the way. So this is about Jackie's a responsibility Jackie has. The seashore is about being at the seashore is about a spiritual ability. And she says it's more like Lake Michigan. So it's saying, okay, I have a spiritual ability, but a lake is a body of water that doesn't have an outlet. So it's saying you need to create an outlet for a spiritual ability that you have that goes very deep. So anyway, we'll continue on with the dream. I knew the baby didn't belong to me. Yes, it did. It felt like I was taking care of the baby for somebody else. But I was holding the baby and walking along the shore when suddenly I felt the baby suckling at my breast. This was weird because I was fully dressed and I didn't think that the baby could get access to me. But I looked down and sure enough, the baby was nursing for me. I was surprised but also elated because I didn't think that was possible for me at this point in my life. It didn't feel weird at all, just interesting because I was proud that I could feel the baby. feed the baby like that. Okay, so a really cool dream. And it says you're here to nurture others. I've already covered the start of it. You're here to nurture others, and it is your responsibility. And guess what? You enjoy it. I've seen you at your best. And even though you might feel that you're not here to do this, or you think somebody else would be better than you, you're fantastic at this. And just ask the people that you've helped. So a nice dream from a nice lady. Okay, let's have a look at another one. My purse gets stolen from an Italian nightclub. Greg and I are walking down the street. It feels like a short while into the future from present day. It's evening. On our left is an Italian restaurant, bar and dance club. So Italy has to do with the heart. Different countries mean different things, like I said earlier, but Italians are very passionate. Again, if you're from Italy, it's not what it's about. So it's about female energy, the heart. The outside of the building is covered in record album covers of Italian-American singers, all men from the 70s. So 70s has to do with your spirituality. The singers has to do with channeling. I had this earlier, so I kind of moved this out of sequence. So you've got to work on some female energy issue in order to pursue this. But I picked this dream because it has kind of an interesting twist into another symbol, which is also about channeling. We go into the nightclub and walk over to the restaurant bar area on the left. I leave my purse, which is, in a dream is the same as a baby. It's about a responsibility. I leave my purse there and we decide to go to the dance floor over on the right. Over in the dance floor area, there is a visiting Chinese dignitary. Okay, you're the dignitary, you're the special person, but you see this as a bit kind of foreign at the moment. We're about to start dancing when I realise I left my purse in the bar or restaurant and I should probably go back to get it. I remember the last time I put my purse across my shoulder like a crossbody style. We go back to the bar restaurant. I look around and see that my purse is gone, and this is the part I found interesting. And I'm running out of time, so I'm not going to cover some of the symbols we just did. I find the detachable strap for my purse. Someone removed it from my purse and connected it to a shabby, beat-up old guitar. When I pick up the strap, it lifts up the guitar as well. So a guitar is another symbol for channeling, but because it is a 6-string guitar, it's going to be about this is your way onto the Dharmic path. So really you're being pushed to channel. I go outside to see if there's anyone in the street, but there's no one around. Okay, out in the street says this is something that you're going to do as a career. And there's other things in the dream saying you need to open up to the idea that you can do anything, that you don't have to do things that other people say you must do. Okay, so we're out of time, and I just want to finish with saying that I do have a talk in East West Bookshop here in Seattle on the 17th of January, so look up East West Bookshop for that. But also look up dream-analysis.com, KKNW, and you'll find all sorts of things and goodies and extras about dreams that are covered on the show today, including courses that are up and coming. So thank you for that.